I was frustrated I couldn't upload a custom story on Instagram, so here is iOS 11 public beta from an Android guy's perspective. Here you might be, rightfully so, wondering what the hell does Instagram have to do with iOS 11? Let me tell you. Admittedly, I'm a hardcore Android enthusiast that loves Android's customization freedom. But when I got frustratingly stuck on trying to upload this, I tried to do what others are doing and use AirDrop from a Mac to send the files to an iPhone, which turned out not to be a viable solution since I have an old Mac that doesn't support AirDrop. Then I tried syncing the files through iTunes, which turned out to be a bloody massacre of the apps already on the phone. I'm just used to plugging my phone in, transferring whatever I like from folders, in folders, within folders, and be done with it. Then I thought, hey, I should use Facebook Messenger, send the file myself. So I did, which turned out to be the easiest solution, and I managed to upload the story no problem. But then, as I was about to put the iPhone 5S back in its box, I remembered I was looking for a phone that I could test iOS 11 on. And so here we are. I wanted to start off clean and do a fresh install, so I reset the phone's contents and settings and then followed Jeff's guide from 9to5Mac on how to install the iOS 11 public beta, which I will have a link to down in the description, so you can go check it out. It's really simple. So, here's a list of a few little things you will find and see when using iOS 11. First of all, no more slide to unlock. You are now supposed to press the home button to go to the pin entry screen, since there are widgets on the left and the camera on the right of the lock screen. Speaking of, there are new styled circles when inputting the pin, and when you unlock the phone, the lock on the top of the screen will say unlocked. Which lines perfectly with probably the only thing I don't like about iOS 11. Actually, there are two things I don't like about iOS 11. One of them is how the notifications come down from the top. What I mean is, when you unlock the phone, the lock screen goes up, like I just showed you. So when you pull down from the top, it's like you're pulling down the lock screen. And to go back to your home screen, you have to either press the home button or swipe up from the very bottom of the screen, since trying from any higher will reveal the older notifications. But with new updates come new features, and iOS 11 Beta 4 is no exception. Now you have the ability to swipe right and reveal an open option, which lets you open the app, and by swiping to the left you get two options: View, which expands the notification, and Clear, which dismisses it. A long swipe from either directions will automatically perform an open or clear of the notification. The other thing I don't like is the fact that I have to press the 1, 2, 3 key every time I want to put a comma in a sentence, which is annoying as it's just one more key I have to press just for a comma. On the contrary, I really like the search feature when you pull down from the home screen and lets you search not only for the applications but also contacts, messages, notes. Along with that, there are a bunch of new animations which you can find while opening and closing applications. Here it is in slow motion. When you open the control panel, it shoots up a little bit. Here it is again in slow motion. And a new Siri animation. And while we're on the topic, what's new with Siri? First off, she has a new voice.
Roses are red, violets are blue. Haven't you got anything better to do?
Along with this new orb animation at the bottom. Also, something I hadn't noticed on the previous versions of iOS, you now have the ability to go back to Siri when you click a search result or when you ask her to open an app through this little arrow on the top left. Also, if talking to Siri is not your thing, you can go to Settings, General, Accessibility, find Siri and enable Type to Siri, which will let you type what you want to Siri instead of talking. And while we're over here under Accessibility, you will find Assistive Touch with a bunch of like opening the control center, going into multitasking, rotating the screen, and pulling down the notifications, which were in previous versions of iOS, apparently, which I feel are more directed towards the 12.9-inch iPad, where its enormous size makes reaching for the top part of the screen rather hard. I mean, if your home button is broken, Assistive Touch makes sense on an iPhone as well. But triple tapping, pinching, adding custom gestures, I'll be impressed when Apple finally decides to give the users the ability to have app shortcuts in there, like the Add screen does on the Galaxy phones. Now, of course, I couldn't leave out basically the reason I installed iOS 11, the new control center, which you can customize under its own settings menu. And even if you have a phone that doesn't support Apple's 3D Touch, like the iPhone 6, or in this case, the iPhone 5S, you won't be left out when it comes to the advanced options of the control center, since you can now long press an icon and get to its more hidden features. For example, in the toggles box, you will find buttons for Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, but also the all-new button for 3G. And if you long press on the box, you will find toggles for AirDrop and personal hotspot. But clicking on the Wi-Fi toggle or the Bluetooth toggle won't actually turn off Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. It will just disconnect from the current access point, but will leave Wi-Fi on and scanning, which I find will drain your battery. Long pressing or 3D touching the music box will give you the option to play music on other devices like AirPods or other Bluetooth headsets or speakers connected to your phone. Long pressing on the flashlight icon will let you change the intensity of the flashlight, and the timer button will do the same. Sliding over the column will increase the time of the timer. The calculator icon will let you copy the last result you calculated. Handy. Under the camera button you will find shortcuts to the respective camera modes, but it won't actually start taking videos or a selfie. The notes button will theoretically let you take different kind of notes, but I haven't gotten that to work just yet. And as a completely new feature for iOS, you now have the ability to record your screen, and pressing down on the record button will let you start a recording with or without microphone audio. What I like about this version of the control center, besides being able to add, remove and move settings around, is that even though you can see here on the customization page inside the settings app, each of the options has a different colored icon. But when you add it to the control center and swipe up to it, they have a uniform, sort of minimal feel. But when enabled, change colors accordingly. Other interesting features include new sounds when you lock the screen and when you're typing on the keyboard. New icons and apps, notably the calculator app redesign with its new icon and new UI, the new App Store with dedicated apps and games tabs, and of course the new Files app that lets you find content on your phone or connected cloud accounts. Going back to the home screen, there are no more labels on the dock. The Clock app has a working clock as an icon with a seconds hand ticking away on your home screen. Inside the Settings app, under General, at the bottom, there's a new shutdown button in case you wanted a more complicated way to turn off your phone, or maybe your power button is simply not working. And I also like the quick response feature where you can quickly answer text no matter where you are. Moving apps around has been redesigned somewhat and is now super easy. When you want to move an icon, the icons next to the one you just moved will stay in place for a few seconds so you can move them more easily and not have to chase them around, like on previous versions of iOS. Even easier than that, you can now drag and drop multiple apps by long pressing, then holding on while using another finger to select any other apps you want to move. Screenshotting stuff is still the same as before by pressing the home button and power button at the same time, but now on the bottom left of the screen you can see the screenshot stays there, and from there you can long press on it and quickly share it with your friends or dismiss it. In conclusion, the phone is still pretty snappy and fast, even if it's a 4-year-old device running the latest beta, and switching between apps and doing general tasks, watching videos, answering messages, is smooth and not laggy. As a bonus, ask Siri and Google Assistant when did the iPhone 5S come out. Also, did you know you can scan QR codes with your iPhone through the camera app? It's very easy and very useful in my opinion. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. Click the circle in the middle to subscribe to my channel. Click the box on the right to go to the previous video I uploaded, or click the box on the left to go to a random video on the channel. And make sure you subscribe for more colorful content. See you in the next one.